If you think trains will stop if they see a car on the tracks, you're right, they will. About a mile after they hit you. In 2015 alone, 230 people were killed at railroad crossings. Don't become the next fatality. Stop. Trains can't. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Napa know-how.
A Napa guy knows the only way you'd give a freshly minted driver a brand new car is if he promises to never drive it. Instead, let him grind the gears and knock over the neighbor's mailbox in something a little more suited to his skill level. And with over 500,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, he can safely drive something that's nearly as old as he is. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for him. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how. We are the New York Knicks. I'm back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K.
Everybody say go, New York, go, New York, go!
Hey everybody, it is episode 371 of the New York Knicks Podcast. I am Jay, and with me is James from the Flagrant Take Podcast. How you doing?
How's it going, man?
All right. Are we recording during the All-Star game?
Yes, we are. But it's been a dismal weekend, so does it really matter?
I don't care. Apparently you don't care either, or you wouldn't be on the show right now. But it's been a terrible, terrible All-Star weekend so far.
Yeah, I mean, what's the storyline for this one? Katie and Russell can't get along, or they can't be in the same lineup together? I mean,
they're going to be in the same lineup, and it's going to be fine, and all that pregame drama is just going to be for nothing. That's going to be the storyline. So it started off with the celebrity game. Did you watch that?
Celebrity game I did not watch because I just feel like it's pointless. It's just kind of like, it's like me and you out there just playing pickup, right?
Yeah, I mean, in prior years, I guess they had people who were like kind of like John Rappaport was kind of funny, and they like mic'd people up. And this time it was just a bunch of people, most of which I didn't know. They were all terrible at basketball. Little Romeo or whatever his name is was trying to win MVP, so just would not pass to anybody. So that also made it really not fun. And I couldn't take it after like the second quarter. So I just wanted to see Mark Cuban for a minute, see what he was doing.
Mark Cuban's always good. I mean, he's Kevin Hart was good too. Those ones with Kevin Hart were awesome, especially when he talks a lot of trash. Yeah,
exactly. But they kind of took all the fun out of it and just tried to make it a normal basketball game. And when it's a bunch of people who don't know how to play basketball, it's not really fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I was surprised that
the other festivities?
Hassan Minhaj was actually pretty good. I was impressed with that. The guy from The Daily Show.
Yeah.
He was good, but that was about it. Then I watched the Rising Stars Challenge, Rising Stars game. Again, that was pretty terrible basketball.
Kind of like what we see now, except there's no defense at all. Nowadays, you have little defense.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool seeing Hernan Gomez and Porzingis in there, and they were playing decent, but I lost interest pretty quickly.
It wasn't fun. It's kind of like a feel-good weekend for, like, I think these type of games are just more for like, younger people, like 13, 14.
I feel like I enjoyed it, like, up until a year or two ago. It's just I don't know what the difference is. I can't put my finger on it, but it was not very fun. So then we had the Saturday stuff. There was the skills challenge, which Porzingis won. So the Knicks are going to win something this year.
I was actually pretty shocked, but then I mean, it figures that's the type of thing we would win.
Yeah.
In terms of a franchise, so.
Do we have to have Reggie Miller comment on it, though, like over and over again?
No, it's not even. Well, Reggie's won, but did you hear? Kenny Smith too. He's a little exuberant at times. So But Reggie too, he has that habit of just going off the rails. It's just a skills thing. So
he is.
Not that
Reggie Miller is one of the most annoying commentators ever, though. He just says the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. I think he loses track of like what he says, and it's tough. I guess that kind of a job is tough to do, and it's so easy for us to criticize. But yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think he just needs more phrases. Like Clyde Frazier.
Right.
Wishing
well, I mean,
dishing.
I get it. It's a tough job to do, but get people who are good at it.
Yeah, but he has the he's got the Pacers background and whatnot. I think that's why he has a job. It's not because of.
There's plenty of players with a good background that are probably better at speaking.
Probably, you're right. You got Shaq in there for the inside the NBA, right?
Yeah, I mean Chris Webber even. I liked him better. He was pretty decent.
Yeah, Chris Webber. Chris was all right. Yeah, I have to say he did a good job. What about what did you think about Kenny Smith's segment with the 3-point contest?
What do you mean his segment? Just the 3-point contest in general?
Just in general when a player shoots and makes it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was just the same thing over. He's warming up, but he's in a groove. And then the guy would miss 5 in a row, and he was like, oh, okay.
And then he said that thing where they'll be in the middle rack, like, oh, this is the most important rack.
Yeah, yeah. And it's always the money ball rack. It's like, yeah, we get it. The money ball rack's the most important rack. Thank you.
Yeah. So they hit 2 and 3s, and then he'll be like, oh, they're getting hot, and then he'll just jinx it. He'll just mix it. But I thought that was the best event.
The 3-point contest is always my favorite. And it's also one of those events where... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was surprised that Eric Gordon actually won, though.
Yeah. I was just about to say, it's one of those events where you have no idea who's going to win. Like, obviously, Klay Thompson was the favorite, but he didn't even make it out of the first round. So, I mean, that was interesting. There was, I don't think I would have picked any of the 3 that made it to the second round.
No, definitely not. I thought Kyrie would have been the best set shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought he had a good form and whatnot, but I was shocked about Eric Gordon. I didn't think he would be able to take it from the rack and shoot. I thought he was more of a catch and shoot.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. They tied it up. They went to overtime, and that's where it was. But you can't, as you said, you can't really gauge who's going to win those. With that being said, I thought Isaiah would win the skills challenge.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, 2 years in a row, the 7-footers winning. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, last year was Cat, right?
Yeah.
The T-Wolves?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just shows you how the league has changed over time.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are really fast.
I liked, that's the thing. Like, the pull-up 3 with KP?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. Like, I wish he does that. I wish he could do that every now with the Knicks, because the Knicks are 10 games under 500. I wish he could do a couple of those in a game.
Yeah, I feel like they don't get in transition a lot. That seems to be a big issue with the Knicks. The
snail-like pace, right?
Well, I guess you don't get in transition a lot when the other team scores every time down the court.
Yeah, and how likely is it that he's going to pull up like that? He'd probably just give it to Bros or Mallow.
Yeah, even if not, I mean, it's the defense always gets set. They walk the ball up a lot. The other team, well, obviously, when the other team's scoring 120 points a game, they're hitting a good percentage of their shots too. But that seems to be the way this season's going. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with the All-Star weekend?
Well, the dunk contest, I think. What did you think about it?
I thought the judging was absolutely ridiculous. It seems like every year the best dunk doesn't win. And there was the one where Eric Gordon did a really good dunk, and you're supposed to judge on the dunk that goes in. And they gave him 6s and 7s because he took a couple tries, but that's not the way you're supposed to judge it. And then there was another dunk where I forget who it was. He missed the dunk and he got 6s and 7s. So
yeah, that's the thing. They got to revamp the rules of this. Like if they miss the shot, I think they should deduct 1 point. Like go from 50 to 1 or something. They got to do something where
You shouldn't.
the judges.
You shouldn't be able to
That's
give
the
above a
rule.
5 if the guy misses the dunk.
Yeah, you're not evaluating on the amount of attempts. If it was, then you got to make it clear that it can't be a gray. And you have these judges that are former players that do this. They don't have a rubric. I think they just play off of what the fans' reaction is or something they haven't seen. But I think they should probably implement something where you keep missing the dunk, just deduct 1 point off the top. Or like one judge will be like, all right, 9 is the most you're going to get on this. And
That's not a bad
the
way to
next
do
one.
it. Yeah.
I think that's what they should do for that one because it's getting ridiculous. Like I think Kenny Smith in the 2000 dunk contest, Vince Carter had an amazing dunk, spectacular, and I think Kenny Smith gave him a 9. Like, I mean, he said you set the precedent on the, he set the bar on the dunk before, but it's like, come on, dude, that's a 50. You can't just say like he had a crazy dunk before. See, they're just making their own rules up within the rules.
Yeah. Nobody knows what's going on. I mean, you could say it's for the fun of it, but like it's annoying when the best dunker never wins.
Yeah, exactly. But that Derek Jones Jr. from the Suns has played, I don't know how many minutes he's played in the NBA. I don't think
20.
I've seen him in a game.
He played 20 all season.
Yeah, exactly. He had a spectacular left-handed dunk.
Yeah.
And Glenn Robinson the third, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they got all the big names for this event.
But that was a spectacular dunk too, and he got a 50.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they need more superstar power in that. Zach LaVine was out. I got it. He got a knee injury that would have been out. But they need more players like that. I think they had Steve Francis in 2000, Vince Carter, not peak T-Mac, but it was like he was kind of like a role player. I thought they got to get those guys in, like kind of some guys that have more fanfare.
Yeah, the biggest name is probably
exciting.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan is like the highlight of that.
And he's like
of
maybe
all those
a B-level star.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron Gordon, I thought would be a B-level star in preseason. Like I thought he'd be like a 18 and 9 guy, but he's kind of been up and down because of the Magic miscues and whatnot. But he's not up to that level though. He's not even at a DeAndre Jordan level. So these no-name guys, I mean, like that guy, was Derek Jones Jr. He played 20 minutes. You got to have a better cast of characters. Maybe pay them more for the weekend. I know, like for example, Melo says I think he booked a vacation. He lost some money, but he'll probably recoup it from tonight's game.
He wanted to be in that game. I'm not buying that at all.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, absolutely. He wanted that so bad.
With his buddies and whatnot.
Oh, come on. I mean, of his brand alone to add another, all-star game to his brand. Come on.
Yeah, I get. I thought he would. The way he commented on the weekend is like, yeah, I had a big vacation in Cuba or Puerto Rico, and man, I really missed that up.
To me, it sounded like, oh man, I guess I'll have to go to the All-Star game.
Yeah,
I'm
he's gonna be with us. Did Wade make it, by the way?
No.
Oh man, so they didn't get the whole Banana Boat crew, right?
No, I mean Wade did not deserve it.
Yeah. No, he definitely didn't deserve it with all that chaos going on in Chicago. But I'm glad this is going to be Melo's last time, I think.
Yeah.
He wasn't even voted in. Adam Silver was just like, I feel bad for you, buddy. That's what's going on in the New York.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's cool.
Arguably Bradley Beal should have been in it.
Oh no, I completely agree with that. Or did Al Horford maybe?
He's. I don't know. I keep hearing about what a good season he's having, but he's looked like crap against the Knicks every time. Which is,
I just think like you should. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but like winning should be a validating point for these. If you're gonna sub like Kevin Love in for whatever, I think that should be a test. Who should be the fill-in?
Winning
overall. Yeah, like how much your team is winning. So the Celtics, I think they have 1 star, right?
Yeah.
Thomas.
Spurs only have 1 also.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah.
I mean, I would say winning.
I didn't think about that actually.
I mean, winning is part of the consideration, but I would also say you should consider defense.
Yeah. So you think the Knicks defense is the reason why Melo got in?
No, I'm saying they didn't consider defense, and that's why Beal didn't get in.
Oh, got it. All right, perfect. Yeah.
Because
it sucks that he didn't. He's having a healthy year too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But those are the adjustments that I would make overall. Swinging back to the dunk contest, those are some adjustments I would make for that.
Yeah, no, I like that. Taking off a point for every missed one. That would, and that way you get 9 attempps, and after that, it's no point in even trying.
Yeah. If a player wants to dunk 9 times, all right, you start off at like a 41.
Mm-hmm.
That's the highest you get, and this way it's kind of like they also can change their dunk instead of just waiting. Like if you're watching that game, you pay good money for like that skills.
I was thinking that if you miss one, nobody can give above a 9, so it goes down to 45. So you're actually losing 5 points each miss.
That's a good idea too. That's more harsh though, right?
Yeah, but it would move it along. Actually, it would make it more exciting because, even if it's a great dunk, you might only get 40 points.
I also think if they implemented like something like that, like a check down, like you could probably have more individuals in this dunk contest. But then again, you might have more Derrick Jones Jr. players of that caliber in that mix of players that trying to do this dunk contest.
I think what we're saying is the dunk contest needs some work.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, they gotta make it clear to the judges what they're judging on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just can't make them have a gray and based off of their judgment on some misses to lower it. But yeah, to end it to this, that would be they should make some. Adam Silver needs to make some changes, or the NBA, the league, whatever it is.
Yeah, because Gordon got robbed last year. Gerald Green got robbed that one year.
Yep. Gerald Green. I remember the cupcake dunk.
Yeah. Even the year with Blake, he had like the 3rd best dunk that night.
Yeah, it's all based off of what the refs, the judges think. Like, he set the bar from the dunk before.
I think it was also, hey, the guy who is repping our sponsor won.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. But I like last year's dunk contest better than this year's.
Oh, yeah. It was way better.
Overall. That was so much better. They had those two, I think it was Levine and Aaron Gordon. Those guys, they put on a show for sure.
This year, 3/4 of the dunks were just jumping over somebody, which it's impressive, but when you see it over and over again, it gets less impressive.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But the one that Gordon had over the mascot was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He cleared him, and then he's looking like eye level at the rim or even like down.
Yeah.
But every year you remember these, but you always remember the ones that sucked.
Yeah.
So I like to this day I still remember Nate Robinson missing like 50 attempts. This is Nate Robinson is a Knick too.
No, I remember the who was the guy in the Knicks who tried to run full court and dunk like 5 times?
Whoa, man! Crap.
That was like 3 years ago, right?
I think it was 3 years ago, but that thing lasted about 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, he came in with the flight attendants.
Yeah. Damn, I wonder who that was. Oh man, I know his face. James White.
James White,
yes. Yeah, he came full. I remember that, the flight attendant. But see, there's so many bad ones that you forget that one.
Yeah.
Was there ever a successful Knick that dunked well?
Well, Nate.
Oh yeah, I guess Nate. What about Allen Houston stunk, right?
I'm actually looking at all the Knicks participants. We had Gerald Wilkins, Kenny Walker, Starks. I didn't know we had Doug Christie.
We had Doug Christie for a bit, yeah. I remember majority of his career with the Kings, though.
Yeah, that was definitely his prime years.
Is that rumor true with Doug Christie that his wife came with him on the flight?
I'm not sure.
There was like a rumor saying like his wife didn't want him to like cheat on him, so she came on the flights with him. Not to go off on a tangent or anything, but I thought you would probably know, but what do you? By the way, I don't want to deviate too much, but like, what do you think the Knicks are going to make a trade?
Yeah, I was just about to say we should start talking trade deadline stuff. I feel like they're going to make a very, very, very minor move. Like Lance Thomas for Glenn Robinson III type of move. Like something completely inconsequential.
And then like Phil Jackson would be like, yeah, we were impressed with his slam dunk performance, so I think it would be great if he was on the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
That would be his like ringing endorsement for him.
We were lacking in dunks on this team, so now we got that covered.
That would help our defense and whatnot.
Yeah, totally earned my pay here.
I feel like that's realistically going to happen, but I think like Kyler Quinn and Courtney Lee are probably the most valuable players on this roster because Melo, you're not going to trade him. He's going to be a trade kicker. He's got the no trade clause. It just seems like it's not going to happen. I think the management is communicating with Melo.
Yeah, I think if you do trade Melo, you are going to get like 25 cents on the dollar, and if you're not getting a good draft pick, then what's the point? Like I hear like, oh, we could trade to the Clippers, but what are we going to get? Like a number 24 draft pick?
And you also get some crazy nickname on Twitter. We always say like Austin Rivers, but like Austin Rivers looks good now with CP3 out, but I don't think he's more of a volume shooter, and we already have enough volume shooters on the Knicks.
Right.
So,
well, also I think the Clippers pick wouldn't be till 2019, 2020, I think.
Sounds like a Knicksy move, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to talk myself into it in case it happens, thinking like in 2020, maybe Chris Paul will be washed up and, Blake might be injured, so maybe that would be a good draft pick.
And we can't trade Blake. We can't trade for Blake because of Derrick Rose's contract, right?
We would have to move Rose because there's some like super max extension rule, and there's only 4 players in the entire league that have it, and one of them happens to be Rose.
Oh man, that's so Knicksy.
It is so Knicksy.
I think O'Quinn and Lee have probably the most realistic value in terms of.
Yeah, O'Quinn's on a very reasonable contract, and Lee is a perfect piece for a championship team. I mean, he plays defense, he shoots threes at a very good percentage.
He's our 4th leading scorer, but I think those two have pretty much some good value in terms of getting. I don't know if I'm stretching this, maybe a first-round pick. I wouldn't say individually they're worth first-rounders, but maybe both of them together. It's a stretch, but I think that's the only way you would obtain a first-round pick if you're trying to obtain young assets.
Yeah, I mean...
Because, I'm stretching, by the way. As I say this, I just think those two players, Kyler Quinn's had some great games. Courtney Lee's been stellar offensively. I just feel like they'd be good role players on contending teams that would be willing to give up a first-rounder, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I was Cleveland, I would be all over that.
Oh, yeah. And, LeBron wants a playmaker.
I feel like
him a ton of playmakers.
Courtney Lee would be a good guy for the Spurs.
Courtney Lee. He'd be like, that would be Popovich's idol. Like, that's the type of player he wants.
I mean, I can't even think of another Nick the Spurs would want, but he seems the most Spursy of our roster.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. I mean, Marshall. No, I don't think Plumlee. He doesn't even play enough. Because I like Kuzminskis. I want to keep the young pieces. Joakim Noah, no one's going to touch.
No, we're stuck with Noah.
Yeah, that's why I'm staying away from that. Hernan Gomez, I like him too. I don't want to. Justin Holiday, you can use him as a piece. He's been playing well of late. Derrick Rose is probably worth a second-round pick, unfortunately, and he's the 3rd best player on the Knicks.
Unless you could absorb a tremendously bad contract.
Exactly, but it's embarrassing that Courtney Lee and as I say this, Courtney Lee and Kyler Quinn would be worth the first, while Derrick Rose would only be worth a second-round pick. So. I mean, what other deals do you think the Knicks would potentially make? I know you made a realistic trade with Thomas but what other deals would there be? I was like Ron Baker.
No, nobody wants Ron Baker.
Yeah,
Ron Baker is. We
Baker.
have a guy in that position. It's usually shooting guard that we get overly excited about, who's actually not that good, just because we're desperate for like a homegrown guy. You know, we had Landry Fields. We had who is that guy that played good defense against LeBron once, and we had a hard on for like the next 2 years. You know what I'm talking about?
Like 6'11". He was 6'11". He played like a couple of. He didn't play that much minutes, but he played all right defense. But
he was out of the league like after that season, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, we always get excited about these guys, and then they're just gone.
I think Ron Baker played because, like, he's the one that listens to Hornacek the most.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of, like, situational defense and switching and communication. I think that's why he plays minutes. I mean, Melo's a big-time star. Porzingis is his stock has been down this year.
Thank you, Alex. It was Travis Ware.
Travis Ware, 6'11", I remember, everyone thought he was like a LeBron stopper, but that's what happens when your team is so bad for this many years.
Yeah.
Would you trade Jennings?
Yeah.
You trade him, but what value you think we'd get back for him?
Oh, well, that's a completely different question.
Like a second round?
Yeah, you could get a second round. I think you could even get another, no, probably not a first, but like a decent player that's not being utilized right on his current team.
Like a Tim Frazier? I think I spoke to you guys about this on the last pod. I thought the Pelicans are still not using Tim Frazier.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of pisses me off because the Knicks could have got him.
Yeah.
I think he was playing in the D League. Correct me if I'm wrong while I say it, but I think he was playing in the D League. He was playing really well, and I was like, guys, you got to pick him up. And then the Pelicans picked him up. So it was bad.
I don't know why we're not doing any of these moves. Like, Dallas got Yogi Ferrell. Well, why aren't we doing these things?
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's playing really well.
Even the Warriors are picking up D-League players. Like, the Warriors are trying to get better, and the Knicks are just sitting there. I don't understand.
You think it's too... well, I mean, Phil's not the kind... I mean, who do you think is running the whole front office? Is it Steve Mills or Phil?
I have no idea what Mills does. I feel like Phil's doing all this, and if he's not, if it is Mills, then Mills sucks. So either way, somebody's got to go. Like, whatever's going on is not working. I mean...
Yeah, he's always that guy that's always in every press conference. Doesn't really say much, but he's got a cushy gig. Like, I would love to have his gig. Like, not do anything.
But like in politics, if you do something like egregiously bad, somebody's getting fired. It may not be, it may not be the president, but some heads are going to roll if something goes bad. Nobody got fired for the Noah contract.
No one's getting fired for that.
Somebody should have. I mean,
I agree.
The second the ink dried, it should have been like, oh my God, I can't believe we just did that. Mills is fired.
I was actually optimistic when we signed Joakim Noah.
I was not.
Because I thought he would average, this is what I thought he would average, 6 points, 9 rebounds, and this is the key, 4 assists a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, consistently, but like playing maybe 30 minutes a game, 70 games for the season. 30 minutes a game, 70 games. That's what I thought.
It's funny that, like, your optimistic hope was 6, 9, and 4, and he's done wildly lower than that. And
because he had a crappy year last year, so
and the year
I was
before.
like, okay, he's healthy. He's healthier now. He can't get any worse than last year.
He's already missed
That's what I thought.
He's missed about 27 games, I think.
Yeah. I was. That's how realistic I could be. I knew he wasn't going to be I think he averaged like 13, 11, and 5 assists in, I think, 2013 and 2014. I knew he was going to be there. But come on, get a fraction of that.
Yeah.
He's got he's averaging 8.7 rebounds in 22 minutes. Impressive. I'll give you that. and he's averaging 5 points.
Which scary.
But the games are, which are what?
Well, it's scary. It's actually more than he averaged last year.
Yeah, exactly. So he's he's shooting better this year.
Good.
He's actually shooting better from the field than his free throw percentage. So, but I just think I just expect him to be more healthy and playing probably 30 minutes a game.
So I
being
get
a better defensive player for the Knicks, because clearly 4 of those players on that lineup, you would think they play no defense. I thought he would kind of like do the yelling and shouting, kind of like Tyson Chandler did.
Right. I get
like
when people
anchor.
are like when they get older, their percentages go down a little bit. I've never seen anybody's percentage go down 40%.
Yeah, that was bad.
Is that even possible?
I know he played 29 games last year. I'm looking at his stat from his whole career. The major drop off from 2013, 2014.
Well, the first 8 years of his career, he was like a 70-75% free throw shooter.
Yeah, and then you see the drop off, right? It was when he went from 74% to 44% this year.
And that's just because he went on a mini hot streak. He was in the 30s until about 5 games ago.
He was on Shacking a Fool recently too.
Yes.
Pulled that free throw.
Yes.
But it's I just thought he would be much more healthier. I thought the Knicks would kind of just, I don't know.
I mean, he did a
should have had a
pull-up
better gauge on how much they're paying him or how healthy he should be.
I guess when the entire tryout for the team is doing a pull-up on Phil's arm, then...
Did you see that photo with Phil on the Metro bus?
Yeah.
What you think about that?
He looked homeless. That was weird.
Do you think that's him?
I think so.
I think it was too.
I think it was, yeah.
He lives in Midtown, so. Do you? I also wanted to ask: do you think Justin Holiday has any value? Would you trade him?
He does, but I would like to keep him. He's one of the few people I'd like to stay on this team
because he knows his role, right?
He knows his role. He seems like one of those players that didn't get consistent playing time, and now that he's kind of sort of getting consistent playing time, he's improving a lot. And I would hate to see us let him go and then him actually carve out a role on another team and significantly improve, a la like Hardaway Jr. is right now. And
yeah,
believe me, I did not like Hardaway Jr. when he was on the Knicks because his defense was beyond terrible. But it seems like his defense improved enough where he's actually playable now.
Because I think the Hawks are a contending team. They have a good coach, and I think he's like the East Popovich, Mike Budenholzer, right?
Yeah.
So he just commands a lot from his players, and I think Hardaway at the beginning of the year, you saw it. He had those bad habits from the Knicks, bad defense, all offense. But as the year went on, he got really strong. Like he started shooting threes. He scored 38 in a game, so he's really fine-tuned his game. So.
I think he also benched Hardaway when he was pulling that crap, and
exactly, yeah. And then the Knicks never did that. Knicks just rolled him out there for 24 minutes a game. There's no consequence of playing no defense on the Knicks team.
Right. Which
yeah. I mean, even Hernan. I think you mentioned this earlier. You might as well have Hernan Gomez in the starting lineup instead of Noah from now on. For the rest of the year, because he first of all, they stink on defense. You might as well just go all offense.
Where would you rank Noah out of our 4 centers?
Those 4 centers.
I'm talking
you
Hernan
got
Gomez.
Quinn, you got Hernan Gomez
and Plumlee.
I would rank. Oh man, this is bad to say, but I'd rank him 4th. I think I like Marshall Plumlee.
I think he might be 4th too.
Yeah, I think Plumlee's 3rd. But I feel like Plumlee's a grinder. He's going to get better. I mean, his brother's good too. His brother's in. He just got. I don't know if he got traded or whatnot, but he had a good season for the Pacers and Suns and whatnot. But he's a worker. Those guys. He's got we have two other brothers in the league. I think he's much better. But Noah's on the downhill, but he's only 31. So I don't know if it's age or if it's injury or a combination of both. Because he's still
done.
relatively prime.
No, he's done.
He's done?
He's done. He's done. Some players, they're done by 30.
Yeah. But do you think what do you think Hornacek is trying to do? Do you think he's got the Phil Jackson just trying to make him play Noah all the time? Or what do you think his game plan is, Hornacek, with playing Noah at the starting lineup?
I think I said this last episode, when you have a reputation in the league, it takes years for you to lose that reputation. And he did win Defensive Player of the Year a few years ago. Yep. So I think they keep saying he's our defensive anchor, even though every time he's out there, the team gets outscored by about 40 points.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a long time for. I think the coach is starting to realize that Hernan Gomez should be starting. But I think when Noah is healthy, he's still going to get, it seems like he can't play more than 20 minutes a game, but he's going to get that 20 minutes a game. And I guess O'Quinn is now going to be the odd man out when Noah's healthy. Fortunately for O'Quinn, that may be 10 more games the rest of the season.
Oh, man, that stinks. That's disheartening, right?
Yeah.
How likely do you think, well, the Kings are, I don't know if you heard the news, but DeMarcus Cousins, there were some rumors about DeMarcus Cousins getting traded, but I doubt that's the case. Do you think Derrick Rose should get traded to the Kings for a second rounder?
The Kings seem to love head cases. The thing is,
they got Rondo last year. That's what I was asking him. Rose isn't too much of a head case, but he went AWOL early in the year. So
what salary would we get back though? You can't just trade a $30 million guy for what? Yeah. What is he making? $20 million?
Rose is making 20, so you'd probably have to take. I don't know who. I unfortunately don't know anyone on the Kings. I gotta pull that up right now. But you'd probably take a veteran in exchange for him. But
I mean, the Kings. The good thing about the Kings is they always have bad salaries on the roster, so I'm sure there is somebody we could take.
Yeah. Exactly. I would they have a lot of big men, and they have no guards. So I mean,
I know
that would be a crazy landing spot for Rose. He would have 40 minutes a game. He could probably average 24 points a game with Cousins for the next 30 games or so.
I mean, I know Kufos is not Kufos. I was thinking of somebody else. I mean, their third highest player is Aaron Aflalo. I don't think we want him back.
I actually like Darren Collison on that team, but his stock is probably too high for them.
I mean, if they think Rudy Gay is going to bolt, maybe they do that.
Rudy Gay already said he's not coming back.
Yeah, so maybe they do that. Two guys who are not going to come back. Just swap them.
What about, I'd say,
Rudy Gay and Matt.
I'm looking at the roster right now. Cauley Steins, but you got to go equal value. So, and I wonder what Ty Lawson's value is now at 20. You got to package him with Temple and a follow or something like that.
Rudy Gay and my favorite player, Matt Barnes. That'll get it done.
I would like Matt Barnes on the Knicks. He'd probably get into people's skins.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've wanted him on the Knicks ever since he left the Knicks.
Yeah, I think that would be good. That would be a good deal. I feel like the Kings feel like they're edging to make a move.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to appease DeMarcus Cousins or not, but
of course it is.
I feel but since they got Rondo last year, maybe they should take another shot with another head case. Because they have Barnes. I think they got rid of Rondo last year. Cauley Steins is upset. I think they're going to deal him at the deadline. But I'm trying to figure out, as you mentioned, that was a better in terms of balance. Rudy Gay and Matt Barnes would be the deal, but I don't know if they'd give up Barnes.
Well, Barnes is he's getting up there. What is he? 35.
Let me check. He's had some good games this year for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 36.
Yeah, so actually he's going to be 37 next week. So
yeah, March 9th.
So yeah, he's not exactly a building block on this team.
No, but I would do it just to get some value back.
Mm-hmm.
Because we already got Rose and we got rid of, good center and whatnot. But, I just want something back. But someone on Twitter mentioned, like, you might as well just think about just dumping salary away by just how you obtained Rose, but now you're just getting rid of his salary at the offseason. So regardless, you lose him. But I feel like we need to get some value back. That's all.
Right.
But,
even if it's just even if it's just a rental of Gay and Barnes, it's
yeah.
I mean, maybe a new look will put some life back into the Knicks.
What do you think about? You think the Knicks have a shot at Brandon Knight of the Suns? I know he's actively being shopped.
They do, but do we want Knight? From what I've heard from fans of other teams he's been on, is that we don't want him.
That we don't want him because he's all offense?
He's all offense, and he's not creative. Like, he's good if you run a play for him, but when he's freelancing, he's just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like he had a really good season when he was on, I think it was, what was that season? With Jason Kidd in the Bucks. He had a really good season, and then he got traded. And but because defensively, what are the solutions on the defensive end? Any defensive players that you think will really galvanize the Knicks defense? Matt Barnes would be a player, as you mentioned.
The question is, do we want to get the defense better?
Yeah, or do you want to go full offense? That's what it comes down to.
I just want to go full youth movement and get that top 4 draft pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. That would be good. I would love that, but I don't think that's happening.
We're only 2.5 games out of a top 4 draft pick.
I'm sorry?
We're 2.5 games out of a top 4 draft pick.
I know, but do you think you got to think of it like in their eyes? Do you think they think they're competing?
Yeah, but they're stupid and they're wrong.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, what would be the best if they just get the season over with and Phil Jackson opts out or just leaves?
I mean, are they really going to leapfrog 4 teams to get into the playoffs?
No. I think this downward trajectory that they're in that's the way it's going to go the rest of the season.
I mean, the Heat and Bucks are playing good ball right now. So even if you say they could pass the Hornets and the Pistons, I don't think they're going to keep pace with the Heat and Bucks.
No. I think they're in win now mode, but they're losing.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. But because every time you see one of Hornets press conference, they seem like they're still trying to win or whatever it is. Because that Spurs win, I kind of got scared. Because they won, it was great. Great juice, positive juices flowing in New York. But then they throw that dud the next game.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about that since last show. The Knicks played the Thunder.
Yeah.
Melo started off 7 for 7. They were up by like 15 in the first quarter. They finished the first quarter up by 12.
Yeah, it was good. It looked great.
And then the second quarter happened.
Which in some ways, I mean, as a Knicks fan, I was happy that they were winning, but I also am kind of rooting for them in the draft lotto.
Right.
So I was like, in my mind, I was like, wow, the Spurs win was crazy because they won. I think that was luck. Spurs went out the night before. They probably went to One Oak or something like that.
They were
9
not.
yards.
They were not shooting good at all.
Yeah, exactly. So they went out and stuff like that. I get it. And they were hungover for this game. And the Knicks just caught them at the right time. The OKC game, there was a bit of that game, as you said. Like they looked like they were building off of that. And it kind of scared me a little bit because I'm like, they're not going to sustain this. Like in my mind, I was like, if you're a 23, they got 23 wins and 34 losses. If you're at that record, there's a reason why you're at that record.
Yeah.
And I kind of I got worried there for a second, but what happened at that game? They did the same old stuff. They lost the lead and went downhill from there. So I had a little smirk because they're still trying to win. But They're still trying to win, but they're losing in the process.
Well, that's like almost a perfect tank game because there was some fun moments to watch. It wasn't a total blowout. It was, it was worth watching, and we still got the loss. So it's a good tank game.
Yeah, it was good. And Westbrook had a monster game as usual.
Yeah.
I was just shocked that the Knicks stayed in that game, but I'm glad everyone had a good rise after that Spurs win.
The thing is, even with Rose, he had 25 points, shot 11 for 21, good rate, 7 assists, which is finally like a number you want from your point guard.
Of course.
Not too many turnovers, had a bunch of rebounds, and he still had a minus 10.
Yeah, because I wish there was like on MSG Network they should have a box of how much he gives up.
Right.
That would be great, right? How much he gives up as a defender, because no one on the Knicks plays defense. So when someone blows a missed assignment, it's all the players, not just Derrick Rose and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a guy on Twitter who tries.
He's had some good games.
He has, but yeah, you got to. I don't know. This guy on Twitter tries to make a chart of how many points each player gave up, but the thing is, he doesn't count. Say like Melo's covering a guy, the guy's teammate sets a pick, and Melo says, I'm not going to fight through the pick. And then the guy gets around him, and then he gets a layup. He counts the Knicks player closest to that player who's getting a layup. But that's Melo's man, and Melo's all the way by the three-point line with his hands in his pockets. And
so that should count as 2 points on Melo. Or
exactly, but he's not counting that. So, yeah, we need like a more accurate stat.
Yeah. I'm looking at the month of February for Derrick Rose. Shooting 54% in 33 minutes, 85% free throw, 5 assists a game, 4 rebounds, 16 points. There should be another column of how much he gives up.
Exactly, because
Did they give up 18 points or something? Like
it looks like he's balling, but the plus minus in the win percentage shows otherwise.
Yeah, so I'm looking at his month to month. He's been regressing as time's been going on.
Yeah.
From month to month. This is from October. November he averaged 17, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Not bad. Then he goes 24, 4. You'd think those numbers are those are some good numbers, but the defensive end is what counts, right?
Yeah. Alex made a proposal. Rose to the Pelicans for Solomon Hill, Omer Sheik, and a first-rounder. Knicks take back 2 bad contracts in exchange for a first-rounder. Pelicans clear a cap to get help for Davis in free agency and can decide to keep Rose. Trade rumors make it sound like the Pelicans are in win-now mode. Yeah, I saw trade rumors that the Pelicans are asking about Cousins. They're definitely a terrible team that feels like they're in win-now mode.
Yeah.
I like that, actually. I think we should be doing that, taking on bad contracts and getting first-rounders.
But the way do you see that report? It was they weren't trying to obtain DeMarcus Cousins and Paul George. And
yeah.
I don't know if that's it looks like sounds like a pipe dream, but basically everybody on their roster, even their number 7 pick, Buddy Hield, is on the market too. So I doubt that would. I mean, it's a pipe dream, but I see that would be a trade that works. Solomon Hill he's been a good solid piece for that team this year. But
Ashik is washed up. I would gladly take their first rounder to do that.
Yeah, I would do that. But Solomon Hill is like a relatively solid player, and the Pelicans have the same record as the Knicks, so
yeah.
That I just feel like you need to get a team that, like, the Kings are the only incompetent team. With that being said, the Knicks are incompetent too. I just feel like they work best.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a good trade, though. I would do that. I would take a Sheik contract. He's kind of washed up, though.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole point is that first rounder, so I would do that.
Yeah, as you said, that's a good idea to collect the assets and whatnot.
Exactly.
Now, this is keep going, sorry.
No, I was going to say we have a couple questions, and I do want to talk about the actual trades that happened this week. First, we have to talk about our sponsor for this week, Steiner Sports. So we have a promo code Almighty for Steiner Sports. You get 20% off your purchase at checkout. What Steiner Sports is authentic sports memorabilia and hand-signed collectibles. So if you're saying, I really wish I had a signed Spreewell jersey or photo, go to Steiner Sports. They probably have it there. So, yeah, they got a whole bunch of Knicks stuff. I went on there earlier. Ton of great items. 20% off. Can't go wrong with that. Promo code Almighty, ALMIGHTY, at Steiner Sports. All right, so let's talk about the 3 trades that actually happened this week.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one was Serge Ibaka going from Orlando to Toronto for Terrence Ross and a 2017 first-round pick. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought that bolstered the Raptors' favor of Raptors. I at first glance, and you put the lineup put together, I feel like the Raptors are the number 2 team in the East, even over the Wizards and the Celtics. But I got to see how they play. But this is Masai Ujiri going all in.
That was the weakest position.
Yes, exactly.
Ibaka's having an off year, but it was a weird misfit of team. I mean, they had like
so many big men.
So many guys that just overlapped on that team. I feel like Ibaka's really going to have a bounce back, and I really hope he does because he's on my fantasy team.
No, I mean he should be shooting a lot better, much better productivity in terms of you have a competent team. Before you had like a bunch of they had Vucevic, Biyombo, Aaron Gordon, which is their star, their franchise player now. But I'm glad he's away from me. He should be a lot better. I thought he would average 20 and 10, to be honest with you, with the Magic.
I just don't get why Orlando traded assets for Ibaka, knowing they had Gordon and Vucevic, and I think they might have even did the Biyombo move before they got Ibaka. Like, I don't get why they collected so many guys playing the same position. That's usually the Knicks do that. I
think they were trying to, how like the pace and space are. They were trying to bring back the big man. I have no idea what their thought process. They're probably with the room full of GMs, assistant GMs. They're talking about this. I think that's what their notion was. Because then they signed Jeff Green, they signed Biyombo, like players that just didn't fit. Alfred Payton's coming off the bench now. I just feel like that's what their thought process was. Let's go opposite. But it looked bad, and they realized what they did. Now they got a pick in Terrence Ross, and I don't know what they're doing. They're still they look just as confused as before after the deal, but they made the Raptors better. Yeah, they did make the Raptors better. And that first round draft pick is going to be like the 24th pick. So okay, yeah, so it's a decent draft pick. Do you think the Raptors are number 2, or you have to wait and see? They need Carroll to play much better. He's like the weak link in that starting lineup now. Like if he gets even close to where he was a couple of years ago, then they got a squad. Bench is a little questionable. Yeah, I feel like he just never recovered from his injuries from a while back, and yeah. But this is I think Kyle Lowry was complaining about this, and I think he got the call answered. He was complaining about late game execution, how they didn't have enough pieces. Mm-hmm. And it was quite fitting because 2 days later they acquire Ibaka. Yeah. So basically the front office told Lowry to shut up and just play. So the other move, Chris Anderson got traded from the Cavs to Charlotte for a protected 2017 second round pick. So my question to you is, why do teams keep helping out the Cavs? Got to do it for the land. Got to do it for the land, You have a 38-year-old who's out for the season. Yeah. And you're giving a draft pick for it. Can you explain that to me, please? There's nothing. I I have no idea why they did that. I don't know what the significance of Birdman would be. I don't know why they would retain him.
I think
right?
they're going to immediately waive him and save a little bit of money.
Yeah, why would they do that deal? Just as you said, it benefits the Cavs.
Yeah, I feel like every team just makes these moves that benefit the Cavs. Even the Knicks did it. It's stop helping the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean they got former Knick Derek Williams recently. Kyle Korver, I recently picked up on my fantasy team, and he's been lighting it up.
I mean, LeBron's got balls for complaining that this team isn't doing enough.
No, but that's his MO, don't you think? He always creates a storyline. Just a bunch of drama. Just makes the storyline of the season better for him.
But, I mean, if you're on his team, aren't you like, what the hell?
Yeah, of course. Everyone was just like, what are you talking about? They just acquired Kyle Korver and this, and J.R. Smith is coming back. I didn't get it either, but I just think he just likes the drama. He just likes to be in the headlines. He's kind of sick of Durant, Stephen Curry.
Well, the thing is, I think he knows they're not as good as the Warriors. And I think
No, of course, yeah.
He's worried about that, but what are you going to do? Like, they're capped out. It was your idea to push for Thompson to get a $16 million contract. Like,
yep.
They're financially inflexible right now.
They got J.R. Smith signed, Iman Shumpert. Not as big contract, not as big of a contract, but he's got his boy signed.
Yeah.
He's got Richard Jefferson back. James Jones, the luckiest man in the world, has just been riding LeBron's coattails.
There's like 3 or 4 guys that just follow LeBron from team to team. I mean, Anderson was one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, and they traded him too. But I don't know why teams are helping them. But with that being said, he's a little worried about the Warriors, and it doesn't help that he's playing. I got to double check it, but he's playing like 41. I got to double check real quick, but he's leading the league in minutes for sure, right?
Yeah, and he's played, I think, 8,000 playoff minutes, so he probably knows that his odometer is running a little too high, and his time is probably. You don't really see it on the court right now, but he probably knows that he's not going to last too much longer. I would think. I mean,
how many more years do you think?
I mean, I think he's still going to be elite for another year or two. But
really, a year or two?
Yeah, I mean, he's still averaging like 25.
Yeah, he's averaging typical LeBron stats.
Yeah. I just feel like when he falls off, it might be quick.
I could see that. He's been playing since 18 or 17 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's his 13th season in the league.
Yeah, exactly. Not only 13th season, he's led the league in minutes like once or twice, and he's been top 10 in minutes almost every year.
Yeah, and I think Mike Brown used to play him like 42 minutes early in his career.
This will probably be the 7th straight year he makes the finals. That's a lot of minutes.
Yeah, that's true. I think he wishes, I think, Kyrie Irving took the reins on the team.
Yeah,
his ideal world would be he averages like 20, 6 and 7 or something. And like Kyrie steps up.
When I say a year or two, I mean like 3 years from now, he's still probably going to be averaging like 18 points. It's just, it's going to be a noticeable decline after that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like when he's around 35, 36.
Yeah.
But the minutes have to go down. It's kind of crazy. I mean, he can only do so much on this team. But right now he's just carrying them. But what's the big deal? What if they go fourth? I don't understand the Cavs. Like they should just go to fourth seed and just play the 5th seed and go from there. They know they're going to get to the finals.
Right.
So why doesn't Lou just take a step back? Unless LeBron's really pushing them to really be as sharp as possible for the Warriors.
Well, I mean, if you finish in the number 1 seed, you basically have a first-round bye. You're playing a complete trash team in the first round.
You might be playing the Knicks.
I mean, LeBron's played a trash team in the first round probably 6 years in a row. So, I mean, it is nice sweeping a team and then sitting down for a week.
Good point. Yeah. But I still think, like for his longevity and the fact that Kevin Love is out for 6 weeks or so, just this season alone, I think maybe you should tone down his minutes. Last year he played 35 minutes a game. and this season he's playing close to 38.
Yeah.
So I
that's
mean,
a lot.
I just think like there's no point in, or like they should just kind of screw around, like lose a couple of games, like sit a couple of games out for him.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
No,
everybody, the whole league is trying to help the Cavs out, as you said, right?
right. Exactly. So let's see what else we got. Oh, the last trade, Nurkic and a 2017 first rounder to Portland for Plumlee and a 2018 second rounder in cash. Denver was Nurkic.
And Mason Plumlee went to the Nuggets, right?
Yes. So
yeah, that's a good deal for them. For
the Nuggets.
Denver for the Nuggets, I think that Nikola and Nurkic experiment didn't work out, and they just couldn't play both of them together. I think it's good. It's a good scenery change for Nurkic. For Mason Plumlee, I think he just only helps the Denver Nuggets. They're still a weird team, but he still helps them out. He'd probably be a bench player, competent big guy off the bench. But
he started his first. No, he was a bench player in his first game, but he put up really good numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Nurkic's right now. He played 21 minutes, and he scored 13.7 rebounds, 3 steals.
Yeah.
5 for 5. So
I
it
picked him
benefited
up.
both teams, I guess.
I picked him up in fantasy. I'm happy about that.
Oh, you were one of those people that you got him early.
Yeah. I had him earlier in the season. He put up decent numbers like in November, and then he just got benched, so I dropped him.
I think they realized Nikola was the centerpiece on that team.
Well, that and he doesn't really play defense, which that's why I was surprised with Portland. Not that Plumlee's a great defender, but now you got Nurkic with Lillard and McCollum. Like, this is a really bad defensive team.
Yeah. I'm looking at his stats. He's 7 feet tall, 280, 16 pick. And then Mason. But who do you think it benefits more, the Blazers or Denver? Or is it kind of like a wash?
I think it makes the Nuggets bench much better.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess the Nuggets, because it seems like it made the Blazers starting lineup worse and the Nuggets bench better. So
the Blazers have the same issue the Knicks have, which is they just don't play defense.
Right. I mean, I guess you say the Trailblazers get the draft pick, but right now the Nuggets are a playoff team, so you're talking, 16th, 17th pick.
The Nuggets are a playoff team?
They're in the 8th spot right now.
Damn, I gotta look at those names. That's a horrendous West. Remember the West used to have like 50-win teams?
Yeah, the West used to have 10, 11 really good teams. Now they have 7.
Yeah. But I think that would be a wash of a deal. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, wish the Knicks. What is the over under on if the Knicks make a deal? Any deal.
Any deal. I would say 40% chance they make a deal.
Really? Any deal, okay.
Yeah, I'm not confident that they do anything, which would be
and do you think,
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not going to do anything because this is the win now season. It's still in Phil's.
I mean, you don't break up a super team halfway through the season.
Yeah, 82-0 is still in projections. By the way, I wish some reporter would address that.
What?
That question to Derrick Rose about the 82-0 comments.
Oh, I know.
But I'm sure they would probably remove their credentials after that. James Dolan would be like, they would remove his credentials immediately.
I think you can't even make fun of that stupid comment after Irving said the world was flat.
No, but he was kidding, right? He said the next day he was kidding.
Was he? I thought he said he was serious the next day.
Let me get I think he said he was kidding. He's like, see, this is why everything can go viral in a second or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He said one of those things. So
okay. That makes a little more sense.
I'm just reading a headline 20 hours ago. Reaction to the world is flat comment is hilarious.
Okay.
Then the Washington these headlines on these websites are like, LeBron James is quite okay with Kyrie Irving's flat Earth comments. I didn't open the article, but these headlines are funny.
So we got a couple of questions.
Yep.
Before we wrap up, I know the show's running a little long.
Yep.
Melo Stan writes, when are fans going to start appreciating Melo? The guy plays hard every night and loves the team. He is what he is.
You want to go first on this, or?
Oh, and then he added, as a player, can people just accept him, admire how much he loves his team?
I mean, we do, right? I admire everything Melo does. It's just in his own way. He just likes to do things. He just doesn't like to be a full player, engaging player.
We're hard on him because his defense, and I think that's justified. I know there's a lot of people who defend him no matter what. I think it's okay to criticize him for not putting in enough effort on defense. But also, I don't think we should bash him too hard because the Knicks have surrounded him with trash for the last 6 years.
So you give it a 50, it's like a 50-50, or you kind of feel bad for him, but it's also his fault.
I do kind of feel bad for him. I mean, there's other players that aren't good on defense, and they don't get trashed because, they have a better surrounding team. Like you could have like Steve Nash. He wasn't good on defense, but they surrounded him with good defenders, and he did his thing. And if the Knicks surrounded Melo with good defenders, it wouldn't have been as big of a problem.
I also think Melo's best season was with D'Antoni.
Yeah.
When D'Antoni coached the Knicks when he was playing 4. But Melo has this thing where he's like, I don't want the wear and tear on my body at this age or whatnot.
Honestly, but that's
like,
for the coach to say, like, tough crap, you're playing the 4.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't want to play it. And also, like, you see what James Harden's doing. I'm not saying James Harden's Melo, but you see how he adjusted to the environment. He played a certain way. And same thing with Nash and whatnot. But his stint with the Lakers didn't work. I get it. But Melo should have just acclimated to it, like held the ball less.
Right.
Put a little bit more ball movement. Attempt. I'm exaggerating on this, but they try to attempt like 100 field goals a game. He should have just acclimated more than that instead of doing his own way. And that's been a detriment to his career. He's been doing this in Denver for 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done anything different than what he did in Denver. I think people are getting mad at Melo more just because they're frustrated with the way the Knicks are. And he's the star of the Knicks, and he's pretty much the scapegoat. And it's unfortunate, but when you have a crappy team, you're going to look at the star and accuse him.
Because there's two types of Knicks fans, I think. There's fans that like the Knicks, but they love Melo more. Yeah. Right? So they defend him regardless of what he does.
Right.
The defense, whatever it is. You try to validate and be realistic. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then you have people that criticize Melo because they love the Knicks over Melo.
Yeah.
And they care about the welfare of the team. So those are the type of Knicks fans out. There's a couple of Rose fans like that too. They love Derrick Rose over the Knicks, which I don't get.
Right.
But I see it from both standpoints. I get it. You love Melo because he came to New York. He was a productive star. He's a star that wanted to be here, just like Amari Stoudemire. I get the admiration. But do you love the Knicks or do you love Melo more? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You can't say you're a Knicks fan and then just, be like, oh, it's not Melo's fault.
Right. Like
it's a combination of both.
I appreciate what he does, but I want to be realistic about it too. I don't think anybody should get a free pass just because they like being here and they're a good player. Yeah,
and I also think I wouldn't go to as far as George Karl, where he just roasted all his players, but
no.
I would say that I think Melo not being able to adjust certain aspects of his game for the coach or the system would have been would have made him more successful as a player, and even better relationship with his coaches. As like I said, with Mike D'Antoni. Yeah, his best season as a Knick.
Yep, exactly. Melistan writes, we are 11 games under 500. We won't make the playoffs. Shouldn't we just tank now and get a top 5 pick?
That's what you've been saying, and I completely agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Gregory writes, thoughts on trying to add Mario Hezonja, basically finished in Orlando. He was a lottery pick, clearly talent there.
That's a good one. That was a good comment. I would acquire him.
Is he another player that's all offense, no defense, though?
Yeah, but as we talked about before, do you want to fix the defense or you just want to fix the offense?
Right. I just if we're getting young players, I'd like somebody that we can keep and build upon.
Yeah, that experiment there in Orlando's not working out. I mean, I'd give him a shot. He's young still, and he's still pegged out. He was pegged out to be a really good shooter.
You know what? If he took Sasha's spot, I wouldn't complain.
What about Ron Baker's?
I'd rather not see him take Ron Baker's spot, but Endor?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
So, I mean, if he took Sasha or Endor's spot, fine. Yeah, let's go for it.
You'd add another 3-point shooter. He gets some minutes. He plays no defense just like the rest of them.
We don't have a lot of 3-point shooters, so
yeah,
sure.
That would him and Justin and Justin Holiday in the corners.
Yep. That's it for Twitter. NY Knicks Podcast on Twitter. Email. We have emails. nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, I know the ban for Oak has been lifted, but I still had these ideas brewing. Top 6 ways for Oak to get back into MSG. Number 6, hope that technology becomes advanced enough so that he can become a T-1000 shape-shifting robot. Imagine 2 Dolans or even 2 Sashas. Oh, God.
In depth.
Number 5, try out for the Knicks City Dancers and hope to gain a roster spot. Number 4, borrow that ray gun from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay, that's one way.
No, they haven't used it for like 20 years. Number 3, the double decker. Put a midget on his shoulders and wear a super long trench coat so that he's concealed. I like that one. Number 2, the Michael Jackson. Bleach his skin, grow his hair long. And number 1, the Bruce Jenner sex change for Oak, now known as Charlize Oaklet.
Those are very good ones.
Thank you, Lorenzo. He is our MVP of emails.
That was awesome. That thing is not going to be resolved for a while.
No, they asked him the other day.
Unless he works for Dolan.
Because Dolan said he would offer Oakley help, and they asked Oakley would he take help from Dolan, and he said he would rather go to jail. So this is far from over.
Well, it was both of those sides. I think Adam Silver tried to play the parent, but that didn't really work out, and it's still brewing.
Yeah.
The talk with both of them. So
I mean, the fact that 2 days later Dolan had a Knicks Legends night and invited Vin Baker was just rubbing it in Oakley's face.
Or even Latrell Sprewell right next to him.
At least Sprewell had some good Knicks moments. Finn Baker played 11 games and was in full-fledged alcoholic mode at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
He had no business being there.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Oh, my God, that was terrible.
He's such a hateful little troll. Samuel writes, I hate Noah. I thought he was going to be an enforcer and leader. I remember when we signed him and I was like, I'm going to be an animal for the city, blah, blah. Dude hoodwinked and bamboozled us for $72 million. Is this worse than Amari? Amari at least gave us a half a year. F that guy. My starting lineup would be Rose Lee, Holiday, Melo, Hernan Gomez, KP off the bench with Jennings to be the focal point.
KP off the bench?
Well, I guess, that's the only way to get Melo at the 4.
Wouldn't you put KP at the 5 and Melo at the 4?
KP got trashed last time he played the 5.
Yeah. So would you? Yeah. And for that specific lineup, then you'd have to utilize KP off the bench. But would you do that?
It's not bad because KP would probably beat up on other teams' bench players.
And then he'd average 20 and 10.
Right. Yeah. You get his self-esteem up, putting up some crazy numbers. It's not.
They have to stop running Melo plays for KP. Whatever Melo's habits are, they shouldn't run it for KP.
Well, they need to run something for KP other than stand at the 3-point line motionless.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what pisses me off the most? When he does the Melo stuff, where Melo gets the ball on the left block,
Yeah.
jab step, dribble, and then shoot.
Yeah.
KP has a couple of those plays run to him. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's it's a bad way to, bad offense. And Melo can do it because he's a great shooter, and he can get really hot. But come on, he's 7'3".
Yeah.
Be more productive. Be more proactive in the playbook. Hornacek.
And last email, George writes, "Hey guys, I have a dilemma with the team. Who's hotter, Jeff Hornacek's daughter or Kuzminskis' girlfriend?" Have you seen Kuzminskis' girlfriend?
No, I'm about to Google that right now.
Oh my
Lord!
Lord.
I have seen they hired Hornacek's daughter for ESPN. I think.
They're both perfect 10s. I thought about this for a long time today, and I think I need to do more research.
I'm actually Googling.
Yeah, it's really tough. I think it's almost a draw. I think I'm going to need Mark to come in and do a tiebreaker. If you get the picture up, let me know. Let me know what you think. It's very tough.
It's a draw.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. It's a draw.
I mean, who would have thought that the Knicks would have like two perfect 10s running around?
Yeah. Oh, she's sitting next to Tyler. I'm on Google Images.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting next to Tyler Swift here, courtside.
And
yeah, it's a draw. I don't know. Depends on what you prefer, right?
Yeah. Can't go wrong with either choice.
Yeah, exactly.
We just got a few Facebook questions and then we're done. Ben, you have some time?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Ben writes, "You asked me to explain why I've been a Knicks fan since Eddie Curry. I've been racking my brain for the past week and I have no answer. I'm not from New York, but I saw a game at MSG and just decided to be a Knick. I have been consistently screwed by them ever since. I think the worst was when I was visiting New York and paid about $500 for decent tickets before the season started. By the time I visited, they had decided to tank and had to sit through them losing by 20 to the Mavericks. I knew they weren't bad when I started following them and stupidly thought, well, they can't. I knew they were bad when I started following them and stupidly thought, well, they can't stay bad forever."
A whole lot of emotion in one.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. At least when I started watching it, I had the two finals trips.
Yeah, that's when that was when I first started watching. So basically, they were really good, and then they just got worse.
Yeah, I think I started following the Knicks in like '92. So I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then when Van Gundy, I think he resigned or something.
Yeah.
2001, 2002, they just went downhill from there.
Yep.
But yeah, anytime a fan goes into the Garden, you would not even know if the Knicks stink or not. The fans are crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the beverages and whatnot, but they're really into the team when they stink, and you could tell. I mean, they'll boo you, they'll chant Oakley.
Yeah.
It's a great environment. I'll tell you that much. So you don't know if a random fan just came in, they wouldn't know if the Knicks are good or not.
Yeah, it's a smart crowd.
Yeah, very, very clever.
Like with the Heat crowd, they just say, let's go Heat, and they have literally no other chance other than
they also come in very late. They come by halftime.
Yeah, leave early. It's a terrible crowd. So at least we got a good crowd.
Yeah, exactly. But
especially if you sit in the crappy seats, those are all like long-time Knicks fans. It's like almost like a bonding experience up there.
Like in the 200 section?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Previously the 400 section, which they switched to 200 to make you think you're sitting in better seats.
Yeah, I noticed that subtle shit too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool, I got 200 seats. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the 400 section. What happened?
The Barstool seats are my favorite.
I haven't tried those.
They're good. You get a little bit more room.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like $80. You got to get them on the day of, though.
Yeah. Jamie writes, when do you think the Knicks will be an actual contender and possibly make it to the finals? Also, I think the Knicks should watch some defensive film of the Spurs. Well, I definitely agree with the watching defensive film.
They should do film on defense for all of training camp next year.
I'm going to say the Knicks will be contender in 5 years.
5 years, huh?
The thought of anything longer than that makes me not want to do this podcast.
5 years. 5 years from now.
Porzingis is 26, 25, 26.
Yeah. But when you mean by contender, it's a playoff team, right?
Contender is at least a long shot to make some noise. Like, we're not talking like the Nuggets this year are an 8th seed. They're not a contender. The Grizzlies are a 5th seed. Almost, they're not going to win, but there's a slight outside chance they could. That's a contender.
So 4 years from now, Joakim Noah's out, right?
Yeah.
Well, 1 year's already in the books.
Yeah.
I'll give it 7.
Okay.
Phil has to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I figure 5 years from now, there's no Noah, no Phil. Maybe something happens.
But we still have James Dolan. We can't get rid of him.
Well, I mean, if you're going by that, then never.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the life expectancy for, the fat guy who drank and smoked for most of his life? I mean.
Yeah. I'd say 7 years.
Okay.
5 years is too much. I mean, a decade is depressed. I was going to say 10, but then that just made me more depressed. As I'm talking to you on this podcast, but
well, I mean, in the new age where most contracts don't go beyond 4 years, a lot can change quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
In theory,
I just hope they. I mean, 5 years. You're anticipating them to nail all the picks like they have been.
Yeah,
and also bring in some quality players.
Yeah, stop making stupid moves.
Exactly.
Adam writes, can Melo just leave already, please? We're beyond trash. Why would anyone possibly think that blowing the team up and getting as many picks is not the best possible outcome right now?
We can buy him out, maybe, right? It's too early.
It's too early. You would have so much on the books still.
But that's their fault.
It is their fault.
Yeah. So. Oh man. He's got a good point.
I'm just waiting for the day we start trading assets for players we gave away for nothing. Like next year, the Knicks trade a draft pick to get the Hardaway back or something. I'm just waiting for something like that.
Or a follow. They retain a follow.
Yeah.
After letting him go.
Gregory writes, any thoughts on trying to trade Melo? No. Any thoughts on trying to trade for Mario Hezonja? He's basically done. I believe that was the same one from Twitter. Paul writes, how old will Melo be before he will accept a bench role, and how will he handle not achieving all his goals in the league? Example, no ring.
I don't think he cares.
Oh, Alex comments, I became a Knicks fan in 2001, living in Ireland pre-internet. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So what I'm getting is a lot of people became Knicks fans and got tricked.
Yeah.
I don't think Melo will ever accept a bench role.
No, he's going to be like Iverson, where he'd rather just like leave the game.
Yeah.
And just keep his what's his venture capitalist company? M15 or something like that? M7?
Sure. Something like that.
Yeah, he would just focus on that. I don't think he would. He would want the ball like 20 times.
And I don't think he's going to handle not winning anything very well. Paul writes,
Go
ahead.
No, I mean, he's always got the Olympic champion as a way of him being a winner, but that's about it.
Yeah. Paul asked if Melo's going to embarrass himself in the All-Star game.
I mean, there's no defense. So I don't think he'll embarrass himself. What do you think?
No, I don't think he'll embarrass himself.
He's played 8 minutes so far. He's got 4 points. And he's a -12.
Of course. Okay, so maybe he will.
Yeah, so him and John Wall are -12. He's in good company.
If you join our Facebook group, we do a question of the day. And I posted the other day, are you more interested in the All-Star game now that Melo is in? And Evan had the best comment. He wrote, I'm pissed he got in. I want him to feel worthless.
That's rude. That's mean.
That cracked me up. Mark, who is not on the show, wrote in a question. Who has had the better career in what order? Melo, Iverson, or Vince Carter?
Then you could answer it first. You can answer first.
I would say the order would be Vince Carter, Iverson, Melo. Correct me if I'm wrong. Vince Carter made 2 straight finals with the Nets.
Was it finals? No, he didn't make the finals. He made the second round.
Second round?
Yeah, he didn't make the finals. We'll double check that. But he couldn't get past the Heat and the Cavs when he was with the Nets.
Mm.
And then he lost that epic series. I actually love that series because I was like about 13 with Iverson. But I'll check right now, but I'm sure.
I thought 2003. Maybe
With
it wasn't
the Nets,
2 years. Hmm?
With the Nets, I remember, right?
Yeah, wasn't Vince Carter on that team?
Yeah, but I think they lost in the second round. They didn't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, the NBA Finals.
Oh, no, they didn't. I don't think they made it to the NBA Finals that year.
No, 2003 they did. Oh, Vince Carter wasn't on the team then. Never mind.
Wasn't on the team, yeah.
Okay.
He joined the Nets 2004, 2005.
Okay. So he has not made a finals.
No, he's never made a finals. I thought he would with the Magic, actually, not with the Nets. But, yeah, that didn't pan out that well, right?
Right. Iverson made a finals.
I would rank... I would actually rank Vince, Melo, and Iverson. Because of the way Iverson ended. I didn't really like that. And Melo's still pending, so...
Right. I mean, Vince is first. Vince is 40, and he's still... I mean, he's playing better than he has in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he's really rejuvenated his career, and he said he wants to play like 20 seasons, but he's actually a major contributor for the Grizzlies. So I give him that. So he's number one, but I just think Melo has a better career as of right now. That's like an asterisk. Mm-hmm. Iverson, I just didn't like the way he ended his career. I thought he transitioned better, like Vince did.
Well, next year will be season 20 for Vince.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah. He's like the Yager of basketball.
Just to I wanted to let you know, in 2009, 2010, the Magic played 14 playoff games. So yeah, he ended in the. That was as far as he went.
Okay.
In terms of games, so he's always. I think he's always left by the second round.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he did it once.
No, 2003 I think they made the finals with the kid RJ and Kenyon, right? That's when they made the finals against the Spurs.
Yeah.
Right, that was
that Kerry Kittles too?
Yeah, Kerry Kittles as well. Yeah, I think that was the era, and then the next phase was RJ, Vince, and Kidd.
Right.
For 3 years. But this is when I think the Heat won in 2005, 2006, so they got stopped. The Nets lost to the Heat in the second round, and the year after that, this was like LeBron's first time in the finals that season.
Vince keeps just missing. I mean, he joined the Nets after they made the finals, then he joined Dallas right after they made the finals.
Yeah, he just kept missing. But I mean, if you're looking at body of work and how he's really transitioned from like superstar to star to role player, I give him that number one rank.
Yeah,
I just think the only blemish on Vince was, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I just think he quit for a season and a half with the Raptors.
Yes, he even admitted
that was a bad look.
He even admitted he did. Even though he still averaged over 20 a game, he admitted he wasn't really trying.
Yeah, so I didn't really like that because then you saw the spike in his stats after that deal when he was on the Nets.
Yeah.
he like exploded. Like he played like Joakim Noah is this season, and he wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
And then he got traded, and he just looked like a different player. He was attacking the rim, went to the free throw line, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'd put AI too.
I think so, just because he made the finals.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, I got to give him some credit for doing that. And last question, Gilliam writes, if Knicks don't trade Melo, should they just bench him saying health, rest, etc., and to help tank? I don't think there's any way you get away with doing that. If he doesn't have a legitimate injury, I think he's going to throw a fit.
No, I think he likes to play ball.
I also think you're gonna have some serious issues getting anybody else to sign with this team if you bench your star player.
Well, they also already have issues as is, like with the amount of chaos that's going on.
Yeah, I don't think you want to add a situation like that.
No, yeah, unless the only way you get rid of Melo or making him stop, he stops playing himself, and then you force a trade.
I mean, he's made it pretty clear if they approached him with a trade, he would have to consider it.
But it has to be for a contender, right? He's not going to just go to like the Kings.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, that's the problem. It's limited to just a handful of teams, and they know that.
Yeah. And
teams that are that close to a championship don't have an extra $25 million to trade away.
Do you think? I don't want to keep lighting the fire. I know you want to end it, but with Melo and Love, do you think LeBron would really push that?
Melo for Love?
Yeah, or since they're buddies, or would you think it's like business and pals? Like he separates both that.
No, LeBron knows what he's doing. LeBron is all about winning, and I don't know if Melo for LeBron makes the team any better.
But would he do that regardless of their relationship, or
no?
Just keep it. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, LeBron would only push for that if he thought that it would make the team better.
The team better.
And
okay.
you could argue that it might this season, but in the long run, I think you'd want to stick with Love.
Yeah, I just feel like LeBron, the way he like controls the court and watches a lot of film, I think he knows Melo's game, and it wouldn't be a good fit.
Well, yeah, I think Love complements LeBron a lot better.
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
plays better off the ball.
If LeBron thinks Love is going to be in and out of injury, then maybe he pushes for that, just figuring Melo's healthier. But as far as like basketball fit, I think Love fits better.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think that would be reassuring for LeBron, knowing that he's playing the Warriors in the final if they pull that trade.
Right. Not that Love's defense is good at all either, but
yeah,
he does bring rebounding at least.
Yeah, much better rebounding, but highly doubt that would happen, regardless of the Melo and LeBron's banana boat relationship.
Yeah.
Got any other any more questions from?
That is all of our questions. So, yeah, I guess that wraps up today's show. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Everyone listen to the Flagrant Take Podcast. That is James's podcast.
James, yeah, Fred. It's Fred and mine, so got to give Fred a shout out too.
All right, so that's at Flagrant Take on Twitter, and your Twitter is at NYJones7.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm assuming your show is found everywhere, including iTunes and.
Yep, SoundCloud as well.
We are not on SoundCloud. We got to get on that. All right,
yep,
so
we just recently got it on SoundCloud.
So Flagrant Take Podcast. Check it out. How often do you guys record?
Once a week.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard doing any more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the grind of the daily working and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
We try to do our best.
I mean, I would love to do the show 2-3 times a week, but life.
Life happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thanks again, and we will be back next week.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye. You better go away.
I'm gonna leave you.
It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone.
Feels so good to say goodbye.
I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl.
Goodbye, 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 everybody.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
It's a common expression, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. However, what if the horse's mouth is filled with useful insurance tools? This is the exact case with the Geico app. Yes, the app is free and therefore a gift horse. However, look inside the app and behold, emergency roadside assistance, digital ID cards, bill pay. Get the Geico app. Look it in the mouth. Get amazing services. Thank you.
Yo, everybody get up! Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group. Just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost the sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.